I think if you're in a serious relationship with a girl, she should not have an Instagram. That's cheating. In my opinion, I think a woman having an Instagram is 100%.
That is so unhinged.
Well,
she shouldn't even be connected to the internet.
Yeah.
Why use the internet at all if you're just gonna cheat?
I want my girlfriend to be Amish. I just hope you die the loneliest of virgins. And sorry.
He's on YouTube! Oh my god!
Today's a day to celebrate men and masculinity.
We're real men.
And that's why I'm wearing this football jersey, because sports, baby.
And that's why I'm wearing pink, because I didn't get the memo that this was a man video today.
As you might know, Mason and I are the most masculine representations of what men should be. We are the epitome of nails for breakfast.
As you may know, I believe masculinity is a cage.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage.
What? All right, so Danny, we're gathered here today to watch some content where big manly men tell other big manly men how to be big manly men, right?
Yes, at the expense of women.
And themselves.
Yeah, and themselves. You don't even really know what we're about to watch.
I don't, but I like watching videos with my friend Danny.
Yes.
and telling...
Pornhub.com.
Wow, very interesting. Yeah. And I love telling you, the camera, what I think of those videos.
Yeah, so we actually have a fairly predominant male viewer base here on
That's
YouTube,
right, that's right. And regardless of our pie charts on various platforms,
yes,
we know a lot of you watching are boys or men. And I believe that ideas of what it is to be a man deeply impacts everybody all the time. And I have thoughts.
Yeah. So Mason, do you know about the concept of an alpha podcast or an alpha male in general?
I know what an alpha male is, so I'm going to guess that an alpha podcast is a podcast targeted at like young, impressionable men or boys who aspire to be an alpha male, like domineering, aggressive, gets what they want, highly ranking in every social situation. Like being a football-minded fuck machine, and like stuff like that, you know?
FBM, FM. Okay. Football-minded fuck machine. Oh, also, we have a little bell down here. We used this in our last video. It was fun. It may sound like a positive thing, but in this video and the last video...
It's objections only.
It's objections only. We are going to be objecting to opinions and takes that people have if we disagree with them.
So when we hear something that makes us go, uh-oh, wee-woo, we're going to ring the bell.
Yeah. Or like it's a red flag bell, if you will.
That's right. Let's start watching this content that I do not normally consume.
I've never met a bitch that has slept through the whole team, whatever, has 50 plus bodies that have been mentally fucking stable in the head. They're all fucking insane.
Yeah.
Call me fucking a dickhead for it, but it's fact. Even bitches.
All right, so first of all, he says, in my personal experience, which we cannot possibly verify, and has factored out 0 of his biases, and then he concludes with, that's a fact, which is in here he's basically saying women who slept with a lot of people are bad people who are not worth dating. This is called slut shaming. It's very old.
No.
It's just the idea that, like, men should be celebrated whenever they pursue sex everywhere, and women who do the same should be chastised and not allowed to do that, essentially.
Right. This is, they're called the No Filter podcast, which I think is, okay, I feel like every single alpha podcast I've encountered, their title or something has to do with how, like, they feel like they're speaking their mind. They're like, I'm sorry, but this is how I really think.
It's like subversive or brave. It's funny, like, seeing that because they all do it, right? Implying that they exist in an environment where you're not allowed to do that, when they're very much always have been allowed to do that. In fact, like, slut-shaming used to be, like, the dominant media position to take.
It's just that nowadays, people are a little bit more aware that this is not how you should think as like a human. Like, they're a little more in the minority than I think
people used to think that the sun revolved around the earth, but like in 2022, you wouldn't be like brave or no filter to assert that the sun revolves around the earth. Similarly, the idea that it's an acceptable moral position that women aren't allowed to sleep with people without being branded insane is just not true or correct or good.
So these guys, they're not particularly popular, which is good. They are just basically, if you just put together the 3 most below average white dudes, none of them can really finish their sentences. None of them are particularly adept at speaking whatsoever.
Of course they don't sound smart. Like, no one who's smart would hold a position like this.
Yeah. One thing that seems to be like a topic that I've seen them talk about in other podcasts is that women look at a man's future and men look at a woman's past for courting purposes.
That's what they say?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's why it's like less okay for women to have high body counts than for men to.
Sure, but it's like, it sounds catchy when you say that, but that's not based on anything.
Like, you're getting all those girls dirty. That's why they're dirty. That makes them...
No. I got this right here. Women preserve their value. Men create it. Let me explain.
Exactly.
Guys care about a girl's past. A girl cares about a guy's future.
Wait, men create women's value is his argument? Because like that's an obvious, easy like no.
Yeah, they don't really let the girl talk at all in this.
Of course not. He's like doing, first of all, bad red flag body language. He probably doesn't lean forward to the person he's talking to if they were like another alpha male and then like do this, like they're face guarding them like it's a fucking one-on-one basketball game.
Exercising their demons. Yeah.
A girl cares about a guy's future. Just like if your
No,
boyfriend.
I care about your past.
Hold up.
The girl's just like, no, I
That's
care
what
about...
you just said is false. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, no.
He's like, no, stop saying that. Don't say that about me.
You're not gonna want some bum. Oh, you like a lot of girls want to seek financial security from their husband or boyfriend, as they should. But all we ask for, you don't fucking sleep around fucking 50 dudes.
Jesus Christ. So
I guess I didn't even like preface this with like, how offended are you gonna get with this video?
this is a lot more offensive than I thought I'd be seeing today. But let me try to do something productive other than be like, yeah, I hope this dude dies tomorrow.
Yeah,
All right, so this guy's in a especially rude way talking about this idea that a lot of people who don't like feminism like to point out, which is that like it's kind of like an equivalence, like a one-to-one thing, right?
Yeah.
If you expect men to like provide, then you should give men a free pass in X category, like whatever category you want, really, right?
That's compromise, baby.
Right, yeah, that's compromise.
Not,
and it benefits men to be the only ones in a partnership who are capable of providing.
Yeah.
It also benefits men to enforce that women can't sleep around or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's actually double counting two positive things for men. If you have a problem with the fact that men are experiencing pressure to provide, then your problem is with other men who've established that value.
I feel like these guys are just a collective of people who got hurt by one girl when they were 15 and they will never let it go. If that makes sense. They got hurt once and now instead they're like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna hurt everybody.
Yeah.
Is this too much? Oh yeah.
I can already tell the answer is yes.
Yeah.
I say, if my wife lets herself go after I have kids with her,
Oh my god.
if I'm gonna tell her once, if you don't get your shit together, I still want to be sexually attracted to my wife, my spouse. But if you
Even
can't
girlfriends.
do that, girlfriend too. If you can't do that, I'm out.
A fellow alpha, Mason.
Jesus
a fellow
Christ,
alpha.
this is so vomit-inducing. Because our society is the way it is, like, this person probably can find a spouse, but I really hope he can't.
I just hope you die the loneliest of virgins. And sorry, I just, I don't really ever say things like that. But
No,
at the same time,
it's
just,
true. I mean, his attraction to them is conditional. But what he's saying is that his respect for this person as their own person is unconditionally never going to be there. In all scenarios, he has no respect for his partner as their own person at all. The standard he's holding is very unrealistic. But to be clear, if it was a more realistic standard, it would still be morally just as fucked.
Especially from a dude who looks like the most average person I've ever seen. It's like if you just opened up like a character creator, this is the default.
Oh yeah, he's like,
Yeah, choose your fighter, and it's and like you haven't changed any of the hair settings or anything.
Or input
It's
your
just
name
like,
yet.
Yeah.
It says like random player as the first and last name.
That's the
yeah.
The thing that I've just found that like women more prefer in men is someone who is in touch with emotions, someone who is a listener, someone who is all these different characteristics that these guys just completely neglect.
People like respect, people like compassion, people like charisma. There's like a large number of characteristics that people like that almost everyone has in one way or another.
Right.
You don't need to like act this way to try to like be more attractive, even if you feel deeply insecure about
Maybe
it.
you got a little tiny pee-pee.
Not exactly where I was going in that, Danny.
Sorry. Yeah, I think the biggest problem with a lot of these alpha podcasts, as a fellow alpha myself, of course,
as a quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
It seems like a lot of it's just a very broad generalization of men and women. I think the best way of knowing how like a individual person feels is to kind of communicate with them specifically.
Get to know them as an individual. I feel like these overgeneralized, like, women are like this, men are like this, because it's so obviously never useful when understanding a particular person.
Yeah.
I feel like the only reason to hide behind these generalizations is to, like, create a narrative that justifies bad behavior. Of course I reduce women down to visual sex objects because that's what men do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as opposed to, like, I acknowledge that I do this because of individual things.
So this is Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit is
Oh god, he looks like how I'm insecure about what my hair will look like soon is.
Oh no.
Like in a few years, I tell myself when I'm feeling mean to myself that I'll look like him.
I believe this guy's name is Myron. The funny thing about Fresh and Fit is that it's two guys, and only one of them really ever talks.
Interesting.
It's like Penn and Teller.
So which one does the magic?
Neither of them for sure.
Yeah.
This is like a little bit of an example of what their vibe is like.
Yeah.
And when women lose sexual leverage, guess what? they have no power because that's their only fucking power. That's the only thing that they use to manipulate
Ew.
men. And when you take that away from them, they're powerless against you.
This is so
That's
gross.
why society does everything in its power, guys, to not let you know your worth.
So
they do.
He's just trying to sell like his brand and ads to people by making them feel insecure. Society has this conspiracy where they're coming for you.
Yeah.
And like the only solution is to arm yourself against them with this guy's bullshit. You know how like people like to talk about how like the makeup and like cosmetics industry infused a generation of women with body insecurity? To be clear, like I agree that that happened.
Yeah.
But like this is the same thing for masculinized people. This is someone trying to infuse in you an insecurity and sell you the idea that through his product you can wish that insecurity away. The only person making you feel like shit is him.
So if she uses this, she's 100% cheating on you. If the answer is another person, then sure, but outside of that, no.
The sex of another.
Yeah, she uses the sex. I've been using lately. The sex of another, yeah.
This is a very unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think if you're in a serious relationship with a girl, she should not have an Instagram. That's cheating. In my opinion, I think a woman having an Instagram is 100%.
That is so unhinged.
Well,
she shouldn't even be connected to the internet.
Yeah.
Why use the internet at all if you're just gonna cheat? She should only be able to breathe recycled air from inside the building.
I want my girlfriend to be Amish, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Who is so massively insecure about the fidelity of their relationship that if they think that if their partner has like the most normal social media app in the world, that it means they're cheating? That means almost everyone in our culture is a cheater.
Yeah, I'm sure what he's gonna get at is that it's specifically like revealing photos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you post like revealing photos in a relationship,
Because
then
he's
you're
saying
like cheating.
he's saying that the visual enjoyment of your body now belongs to me.
I think if you're in a serious relationship with a girl, she should not have an Instagram. That's cheating. In my opinion, I think.
Look at that. The girl in the blue dress right next to him was like,
Yeah, because
nope.
she's like, am I safe right now in a room with this dude? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Even the other dude was just like, yo, fuck. We'll hear him out, but it's not gonna be good. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But we'll hear him
there's
out
no way.
anyway.
Yeah.
And I think a woman having an Instagram is 100% cheating, especially if she has scantily clad photos of herself on the internet and she's not making money off it. If you got a serious relationship with a girl and she still has a for sale sign on her neck, I think that's very disrespectful.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so why do you at home think he refers to women in such an inhuman way? The reason people like him get accused of not viewing women as people is because he uses verbiage that directly suggests he does not think of women as people.
It has to be so unbelievably obvious that you're spoken for that it's
because he's implying that if I find you hot, that means I've been offered the opportunity to own you. And if you seem hot to others, that means you want those people to see you the same way I see you, right? He's presuming that everyone has this inhuman level of disrespect for women that he has.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying, given that you know that that's a fact, duh, we all are thinking it, I'm not uniquely shitty, then why are you playing into this thing knowing that you are property being bid on by people like me?
But that's just my opinion. A lot of people think that's toxic. I know you don't like, you disagree.
I can't hide that shit.
Also, for some reason, despite having a set and stuff, their audio sounds like trash.
It does. You'd think that if they want a set with 7 microphones, they'd at least Google how to mix it. I also, by the way, I really don't like his little turn of phrase there at the end, which is like, that's just my opinion though, implying that if you have different opinions, we should all just sit happily with our own opinions and that's fine, right?
Some might call me toxic, but you know, yeah.
He's trying to condition us into thinking that when someone says something unacceptable, the proper response is to do nothing about it.
This almost looks like a dick and balls in the back.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
If a man commits to you and gives you a relationship, you're saying that you would not delete your Instagram if he told you to delete it?
No.
You
Fuck
wouldn't?
no.
Okay.
I think that's weird.
Also, listen to his phrasing. He implies that by entering a relationship, he's sacrificing something.
Right,
And so
right.
in return, he's asking you to sacrifice something as the woman, right?
Yeah.
And like, well, first of all, if you don't view a relationship with that woman as something that benefits you also, then why do you even want to be there?
Right.
And
it's
also,
like, well, I'm sacrificing sex with others for this relationship that I'm not getting anything out of. It's like,
Right, it's like, well, then
don't
leave it.
date.
Yeah.
I think because in his head he views that all men are shitty like him, where they will all want to like sleep with this woman who's in a relationship.
And whose fault
from,
would
like-
that be if all men are shitty? It would be those men's fault.
Right.
It wouldn't be her fault. So
Right.
she wouldn't have to adjust her behavior in a fair world anyway.
Here's one of my requests. At least don't put yourself out there to be like targeted by other guys.
Why would you be concerned if the girl wholeheartedly loves you? Like, that's not a thing. She wouldn't even consider talking to anyone.
You mean like
that.
trust?
Yeah.
In other words,
I think you mean like trust in a relationship.
That was like more for the guys, but it's like obviously she's like saying that in reference to what the girl says. But that was like, oh, you mean like this core
extremely
concept.
basic concept.
Yeah.
Are you talking about trust and respect? Don't you know, babe? Every guy out there is ready to disrespect you as much as I do every day. And, like, they don't then start ranting about how those guys need to start learning to respect people. They say, we should accept that as a default and not change it. And you should modify your behavior because you're aware of that.
My concern is this: just I don't want anyone to actually learn it, like gain anything from watching Fresh and Fit or any of these podcasts. Like, it's very much something where I think it's just leading everyone down the exact wrong path.
It's a lifetime of unhappiness you'll have if you look at things this way.
Yeah.
And you'll deserve all of it. In a weird way, I, like, get why they're popular. I know why, as a man, it feels good to hear your gender lauded as the top dog.
Yeah. And the alpha, if you will.
Yeah, it's not like I don't know why it's tempting to give into this shit, but it's intellectual junk food. Work on yourself. Try to be better, not worse.
Right. So this might be fun. There are a lot of TikToks where they're like pretending to be an alpha podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
they're like making fun of it.
Yeah.
The only two women that I respect are my probation officer and Tanya Harding. Now, before you say, what about your mother? I never had one, okay? I sprung forth from an Axe body spray can in the middle of a Miami gym, but not one of the gay ones. The only other woman that I don't respect exactly, but I do tolerate like a rash, is in the studio today.
Hi, I also hate women.
It's like, the thing is, it's a pretty easy punching bag if you're like someone who uses their brain.
I'm the type of man to pick up a check. That's just who I am. So if I take you somewhere fancy, we had Texas Roadhouse, I'm gonna pick up that check. But I expect you to put down those aspirations and support my dreams. I should be allowed to cheat. My mom never got mad when I saw other women. What, you think you're better than her?
You know, my mom actually abandoned my family.
Really?
Yeah. She left my dad after she caught him paying for sex.
Wow, that's horrible. So not only did she leave a man at his lowest, she also doesn't support small business owners.
Yeah, a true strong woman would never leave her family after infidelity.
And see, that's why you, unlike all these other women out here, are not going to die alone.
Yeah, I don't think that women should be allowed in space.
Exactly.
Yeah, so very stupid.
Yeah, I feel like it works though as comedy because like ridiculous conspiracy theories and like absurd far right talking points are just like go hand in hand with that like hyper masculine shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
So I think the main takeaway from all of this is just, alphas are alphas.
If you are a man, it is your responsibility not to act or think this way. We say that not only so that you'll reduce the amount of harm you do in your life to others, but also it's for you. This will enable you to have real substantive friendships and relationships with other people who genuinely respect you.
Yeah.
Because when you act like this, you prevent all of those things from happening.
Check yourself. Check when
it's a continual process.
It is. No one's gonna be like perfect at like removing ingrained misogyny, but it's something that when it happens, you have to like acknowledge that it exists.
If you've done or said shit like this before, it's never too late for you.
Anyway, we'll see you.
Be good people, be kind. We'll see you next time with like silly bullshit or something that isn't super important.
I'm gonna go throw a football. I feel so inspired to throw a football.
I actually really like this shirt. Let me know what you think of the shirt.
I'm gonna throw a football.
Okay, bye.
I'm throwing this football.
What if I fall in love? What if I want it back? What if the only human I've been dreaming of won't dream?